Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium here in Lexington, Kentucky, where we are expecting a capacity crowd in excess of 56,000 for this game between Clemson and Kentucky. Steve Zabriskie along with Rick Forzano with you. And in talking about the Clemson offense, Rick, they are a unit that is still struggling really to find themselves and to really put it together. Although they are a veteran unit, they have not been very successful offensively, at least not as successful as they would have liked to have been. They're led by Homer Jordan, a fine and veteran quarterback. And when they do get things going, it's Jordan who really operates them and comes up with the big play.
He is the key. Homer Jordan, the young man from Athens, has thrown for 3 touchdown passes and run for 2. He's a guy that has to do it, and I'll tell you, he can run with the football. Kentucky must contain Homer Jordan. They cannot let him get outside. And he loves to throw to Perry Tuttle, number 22, who is going to break all of Jerry Butler's records. All he needs is 331 more yards, and he will do it all. Perry Tuttle is a complete receiver. He blocks, runs with the ball, catches the ball in the crowd. Perry Tuttle, a premier receiver, no question about it.
Up front, they've got some big guys led by Lee Nanny.
Lee Nanny, is he strong? He plays the right offensive tackle. He lifts 515 pounds. I'll tell you, this guy, they will run on that right side. And when they run, I'll tell you, they like to run from the I formation. But you're going to see Jordan at quarterback, Tuttle at the receiver right there. And you're also going to see Tuttle running a lot of motion. They're going to try to throw off the Clemson defense, or the Kentucky defense, excuse me. From the eye, they like to take Jordan and sprint him to the outside and throw that little outcut to Tuttle, and then take Jordan, sprint him down the line. He'll either keep or kick out to that halfback. But Jordan is the key.
Defensively, that unit has been their strength. They have a swarming defense, and as you can tell from these statistics, they have forced a lot of turnovers.
They have 18 takeaways already, and they've only allowed 6 points per game. That is great defense.
They are led in the middle by a fine veteran linebacker who is really the leader of their defense.
Jeff Davis from Greensboro, his coach Danny Ford calls him the toughest player he's ever been associated with, and that is saying something. Terry Kennard, the free safety, from this free safety position has made 27 solo tackles. Now that's making a lot of tackles. Jeff Bryant, number 99, another emotional leader. He gets to the football. He's very quick for a big man.
That's a look at the Clemson Tigers and some of the key people to look for as far as they are concerned. Coming up next here on College Football Today, we'll be bringing you a look at the Wildcats of the University of Kentucky. Stay with us here on ABC. Well, if Clemson is an offense that's been struggling a little bit, what do you have to say about Kentucky? They're really trying to find themselves, and really a more accurate statement might be they're still trying to find an offense.
Well, they certainly are, and they've only averaged a little over 2 yards per carry, and you can't win football games on offense doing that, no question about it.
They have a couple of quarterbacks that they use, one for running and one for passing. We'll probably see both of them today.
Well, Terry Henry, he is the runner, and Randy Jenkins, he is the passer. But as you point out, we will see both of them today. Here you see Randy Jenkins throwing to his favorite receiver, Jim Campbell. Now, Jim Campbell is the key when they are going to throw the football, and they're going to run 3 tight ends. Jim Campbell has averaged 20 yards per catch. He is a fine receiver, but the guys that do the blocking are 91, Todd Shadowin, and Rob Mangus, the other tight end.
We don't know whether we're going to see 3 offensive backs and 1 wide receiver, or 2 offensive backs and 2 wide receivers from Kentucky today. That's how much they're still up in the air about what to do offensively. But we know what we're going to see if we see 3 offensive backs.
Well, when they go on offense, they are going to run the tight T formation, which you just don't see in college football today. They're going to have 3 backs in there. Terry Henry is going to be running the ball from there. They're going to have the 2 tight ends that we mentioned. Here they are. They like the inside belly. Fake the ball to the fullback and then give the ball to the tailback, or give the ball to the fullback. When they're going to throw the ball, you're going to see Randy Jenkins, number 12 at quarterback. They're going to throw the ball from split backs again, trying to go to Jim Campbell or going to double wing. You'll see 1 back in the backfield. You'll see a lot of motion coming across here, and they'll flood this zone.
Well, defensively, as far as Kentucky is concerned, if it has been Clemson's strength, it has certainly been the savior as far as Kentucky's concerned.
Oh, they have played good defense. The only problem they've had is in the 4th quarter. You see, they've allowed 29 points, and I think it's because they've tired.
Here's a look at some of the key people as far as defense is concerned. They, too, are led in the middle by a fine linebacker in Kevin McClellan.
Kevin McClellan, a young man from Massillon, Ohio, did not play last week, and they think that's one of the reasons that they weren't able to hold on to that game against Kansas. Andy Moles, a free safety, has 20 tackles from his free safety position, also returns punts. The big man in the middle, number 57, Efley Brooks from Columbus, Ohio, he can get to the football.
We have a special presentation today as far as the national anthem is concerned. We're going to have a young man who's playing fullback today and should be starting in the backfield, Richard Abraham. He's number 45, and he is a young man who is going to be in uniform and singing the national anthem for us to open this game this afternoon here at Commonwealth Stadium in Kentucky. It'll be interesting not only to see what kind of a job he does, what kind of a thrill it is for him, but how the crowd reacts. Now here's Richard Abraham, starting fullback today for Kentucky, singing our national anthem. £230 junior fullback Richard Abraham out of Paducah, Kentucky. Be sure to stay tuned next for NCAA college football, Clemson and Kentucky, after this word from your local stations. Today from Kentucky, ABC Sports presents the 14th ranked Clemson Tigers against the University of Kentucky Wildcats. And this ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Chevrolet, who invite you to see all the good things for 1982 at your local Chevy dealers. Chevy makes good things happen. By Goodyear, makers of Arriva, even its footprint tells you it's different. By Light Beer, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by Mr. Good Wrench and the General Motors Parts Division, who help you keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts. Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, where the Clemson Tigers come onto the field. Their record, as you see, 3-0, 14th ranked in both polls in the nation, coached by Danny Ford in his third year with a record of 17-9. And the orange will be much in evident in the stadium today as they have a good contingent of fans who have made the trip up from South Carolina. And here come the Wildcats of the University of Kentucky, coached by Fran Kersey. They are 1-2, losing a couple of games they felt with some breaks and some better offense they could have won. Fran Kersey in his 9th year with a record of 45-2. They love their football here in Kentucky, and we are expecting a capacity house of in excess of 56,000. There is hardly any wind blowing in the stadium today, and the temperature should be right about 60 degrees at game time. As you can see, the sun is out. It's a cool and clear afternoon. Autumn has really come here in the last 2 days to the heart of the bluegrass country. Kentucky has won the toss. They have elected to receive the football. And Rick, we talked in the pregame show about what we can expect to see, particularly offensively, from Kentucky. We really don't know how they're going to start out.
Well, I think they're going to go with probably a standard running game, maybe go from the T formation, then open it up a little bit with a pass, but I think you're going to see the run first from Kentucky.
Both teams trying to get their offenses on track. Even though Clemson is 3-0, they have not been happy so far with the way they have played offensively. Kentucky, of course, we've detailed those problems for you in the pregame, and they're looking to change that pattern as well. We'll be back with the kickoff between Clemson and Kentucky in just a minute. The kicker, Donald Igwebuike, will kick it off as Terry Kennard will start the kick coverage team for him. And back deep to receive for Kentucky, Tom Petty, number 4, and George Adams, number 33, who is nearest to us. Igwebuike's kickoff comes down to Petty, 1 yard deep. Still struggling for yardage as he gets it out short of the 20. They'll mark it at about the 19, a 19-yard return. Randy Cheek, number 55, a senior linebacker, made the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10, Kentucky at their own 19. Offensively, Randy Jenkins at quarterback with George Adams, Richard Abraham, who sang the anthem, Rick Massey and Alan Watson are the wide receivers. Up front, the tight end Jim Campbell, a good one, especially when they're throwing the football. He'll not be in there when they're running, with Corbin Williams, Rishnack, Bond, and Smith the front line. Jenkins rolling in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 86, Alan Watson, the split end. Number 43, Terry Kennard, was defending on the play. The incompletion will make it 2nd down and 10, Kentucky still at their 19.
As I said, Steve, they'll probably come on out and run the ball, and here they throw it right off the bat.
Andy Hedden, Jeff Bryant, William Perry at 300 pounds, a freshman, Dan Benish and Joe Glenn, the front 5 in the odd front for the Clemson defense. 2nd down and 10, Kentucky. Jenkins resets his backfield. Adams, the ball carrier. Adams to about the 26-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds. Number 82, Danny Triplett, the right side linebacker, made the tackle. Abraham with a good block to get Adams to the outside. Abraham, the other running back. Clemson defense and their secondary and linebackers have really been outstanding, with Davis, Triplett, Rose, Childers, Kennard, and Hall back there, not only covering passes, but they play the run very, very tough. It is 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Adams again. This time Abraham cannot break the block. And number 45, Jeff Davis, their fine middle linebacker, or rather strong side linebacker, comes across to make the tackle. It'll be 4th down and about 3 yards to go. Kentucky will have to kick.
The last 2 plays, Kentucky went with 2 tight ends, but that Clemson defense, they are tough, and Jeff Davis is leading them again from that linebacker spot.
Jenkins is the punter as well as the quarterback, and he will do the kicking. You see what he's done so far this year. Punting has not been one of their strong suits. Back deep to receive for Clemson, number 24, Billy Davis. High hanging kick. Davis does not call for the fair catch. Is tackled immediately by number 29, David Mears, who is the man who snaps the football, who is a backup free safety on defense, but he comes in to make the long snaps offensively on the kicking downs. Good coverage by Kentucky as we look at the starting Clemson offense. Homer Jordan operating the attack. Cliff Austin at tailback. Jeff McCall will be the fullback, with Magwood and the great Perry Tuttle the wide receivers. A 41-yard punt, well above his average for Jenkins. 1st and 10 at the 32 for Clemson. The pitch is to Austin. And Austin picks up about 3 as he gets it across the 35 before Efley Brooks, number 57, and Tony Zach, number 58, combined to make the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and a long 6 as we look at the big guys up front for Clemson, with Diggs, Lee Nanny, who they think could be an All-American, with Clark, Berryhill, Farr, and Brad Fisher, the other tackle. Second and about 6.5. Again, it's Austin. 2 or 3 yards is all as he punches it out to about the 38. Kevin McClellan, number 49, and number 70, Keith Martin, combining for the defensive play. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for Clemson on their initial possession.
It looks like on those first 2 plays, Steve, that Clemson has decided they're going to run right at the Kentucky defense.
3rd and 4. On the option, Jordan pitching to McCall, who slips down at the line of scrimmage and is covered immediately by Tom Petty, the right cornerback, a junior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, who came up to cover him there. So, first 2 possessions by either team will result in punts as we look at the play one more time.
This is just the option. He rides the ball to the fullback. Jordan, that is, comes out, is get ready to kick the ball out, but the trailing ball carrier falls down, but the Kentucky had good defensive coverage.
Dale Hatcher will do the punting, averaging over 44 yards a kick. Andy Moles is back and calls for the fair catch just inside the 30-yard line. Kentucky will go back on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 30 when we return to Commonwealth Stadium with 12:26 remaining in the first quarter and no score. Following a 31-yard punt by Dale Hatcher of Clemson, who's been averaging almost 45 yards per kick, it'll be 1st and 10 for Kentucky, their 2nd possession of the game, just inside their own 30-yard line. They have the same lineup in there with Jenkins at quarterback, along with Adams and Abraham, the 2 running backs, and a pair of wide receivers. Rick Massey will be one of the wideouts, along with number 86, Alan Watson. Well, we talked, Rick, about going to that 3-back offense, and as you said, they wound up not doing it after all.
Well, they may use it as a little surprise here.
1st and 10. Jenkins wants to put it up. And it's complete over the middle at the 45-yard line of Kentucky. The reception made by Rick Massey, number 20. The tackle made by Anthony Rose.
An excellent call. You see the flow go one way. It's a bootleg, and with the linebackers of Clemson being so quick, it's kind of a counter action. A good throw and a good catch to Rick Massey, and a tough throw going to his left and throw the ball.
A gain of 15 yards and a 1st down at the 45 for Kentucky. Abraham, the fullback, breaks 1 tackle and gets 5 to about midfield. Number 45, Jeff Davis, made the tackle on Abraham, along with Danny Triplett, number 82. And if you were with us, boy, what a job he did. Rick, that's so difficult to sing into a PA system where you have yourself coming back on a delay. He did a marvelous job.
Just fantastic with no music whatsoever. I'll tell you, I got a cold chill just listening to that young man sing.
A gain of 6 they give him as they mark it near the 49 of Clemson. It is 2nd down and 4. Adams, nothing doing. In the middle, Jeff Bryant, number 99, was the first to hit him. A penalty marker is down, thrown in the defensive backfield. A gain of perhaps 2 yards on the play is all by Adams, and it is offside against Clemson, the preliminary indication by referee R.P. Pete Williams of the Southeastern Conference. We have a split crew of officials working this interconference game today. Williams, the referee from the Southeastern Conference. The umpire, Bobby Reimer, out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The linesman, Joe Curtis of the SEC. The line judge is Raymond Bo Menton of the ACC. The field judge, Bill Stanton of the SEC. And the back judge, Robert Sandell, out of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Steve, Pete Williams was a great football player at the United States Naval Academy.
That's for sure. It is 1st and 10. Jenkins under pressure. He's sacked. The blitz was on. Coming hard is Tim Childers, the strong safety, number 26. He got to Jenkins before Jenkins could do anything about it. The loss is 9 yards, maybe even 10, as they mark it near the 45 of Kentucky.
Well, Tim Childers came from that strong safety blitz, and Clemson has 11 sacks this year. That's their 12th. They can put the pressure on you, and they've got to pick up that safety blitz, no question about it, to make Kentucky go with their passing game.
Officially a loss of 10, 2nd down and 20. Kentucky at their own 45.5. Jenkins to throw again. Down the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Juggled for a long time by his tight end, Jim Campbell. He and the defender were fighting for the football. Campbell finally fell to the ground and dropped the ball as Andy Rose and Terry Kennard were both back defending.
As we said at the top of the show, he likes to go to his tight end Campbell. There you see Jenkins coming out. Now, he had a chance to run the ball, but Jenkins does not like to run the football. You see the strength of his arm. It was almost a completed pass, but good defense by Terry Kennard made it an incompletion.
It is now 3rd down and 20 as you look at Jim Campbell, the fine tight end, senior from Louisville, who lines up on the right side. Kentucky at their own 45. 3rd and 20. Good protection. Intercepted. No, dropped. The penalty marker is down. They rule it as incomplete as Kennard almost came up with the interception. As you can see, he thought he had it, but a couple of penalty markers were dropped in the Clemson secondary. Here's the preliminary indication from Pete Williams. Interference against Clemson will give Kentucky a 1st down in Clemson territory at about the 37.
Here you see if it was pass interference or not from split backs. Randy Jenkins goes back looking down the middle. Pretty tough, I'll tell you. He was playing the ball pretty well, but I'm not wearing a striped shirt, Steve.
Alan Watson, the intended receiver. Kennard fighting him for the football, but interference is called. Kentucky moving deeper into Clemson territory with a 1st and 10 at the 37. Adams, not much doing there. Maybe about 4 is all as he gets it inside the 35. They'll mark it near the 33. Danny Triplett, number 82, and Dan Benish, junior 250-pound defensive tackle, combined for the stop on Adams. 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. 9 minutes, 27 seconds remaining. We still have no score here in the 1st quarter. 2nd and a long 6. Preliminary movement. The Clemson gets back onside. No, they do not. The penalty marker is thrown. Number 94, William Devane, who's in at nose guard, a sophomore from Jacksonville, North Carolina, appeared to be the one moving preliminarily to the snap. Illegal procedure against Clemson.
Yeah, that's right. But I'll tell you what he did. He probably made a little contact with the offensive lineman because he did get back in time. But when you make the contact, it's an automatic penalty. Big play now. It's 3rd down and 1 for Kentucky.
3rd and a long one at about the 28-yard line of Clemson. As you look at Danny Ford on the Clemson sideline. Now they're waiting to get the down straightened around as it is 2nd down. They had 3rd down up on the marker, but obviously with the penalty it remains 2nd down. And really it's closer to 2 yards to go, about a good 1.5 yards. Now they have the full house backfield in there. As number 34, Henry Parks, has come in at the other halfback. Jenkins throwing. Plenty of time. Completes it to Parks. Drops the football. I believe Parks has recovered, however, as he and a Clemson defender are fighting for it. And the line judge indicates that it is Kentucky's football.
From their 3-back offense, he makes the fake right down to the tailback. Now, you watch number 34, Henry Parks. He started his right, comes all the way back to his left. He's got a lot of openings, and all he does is drop the ball. Fortunately for Kentucky, he did recover it.
Dan Benish, number 71, is right there as we look at the play one more time. And Benish almost came up with a fumble recovery.
Look at all the time he has to throw. It's kind of a little counter pass, faking to the back, and then the back comes all the way across field. It would have been a big gainer. Now they're going to have to measure for the 1st down.
The chains are out. As the ball is near the 27. And they are short. As you see, that much to go on now 3rd down. Kentucky, Rick, as you said, did have an opportunity on that particular play to gain big yardage, something they have yet done, as Danny Ford watches his defense from the sideline.
Kentucky's done a good job of mixing up their offense. They're going with the T, running the ball, split backs, passing it, doing an excellent job.
Plus, they just passed from the T formation.
Making a liar out of me again.
They have the full house backfield once again as they wait for the chains to be reset, with Parks, Abraham, and Adams all in there behind Jenkins. 3rd down, inches to go. Abraham, the fullback, has that and more as he gets to the 25. It'll be 1st down, Kentucky at the Clemson 25.
First down.
8.5 minutes remaining in the quarter. Still no score, as Kentucky now has moved deeper into Clemson territory with a 1st and 10 at the 25. Abraham, the fullback, gets nowhere. Excellent penetration by Jeff Bryant, number 99, the senior defensive tackle out of Atlanta, Georgia, who slides over, sometime playing closer to the center in that defensive alignment for Clemson. We look at some of the Kentucky fans on hand. Boy, they had some tailgate parties going on this morning before game time.
They didn't invite us either.
Most of the people came into the stadium at the last minute, as a matter of fact. 2nd down and 10. Abraham again the ball carrier, and again he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Chuck Rose, number 45, was there along with Rod McSwain, the cornerback on the right side, who came up very quickly. And Rose, 45, and McSwain, 28, combined for the stop. Abraham gains about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, to the 18-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 8.
This is where the great defensive teams really stiffen up. They're down inside of their territory. Oh, there is a great shot right there. Abraham coming right at you, and Jeff Davis meeting him head on.
I believe I said the 18. It's the 23-yard line, and 2 wide receivers are on in 3rd and 8. Jenkins avoiding the pressure. Bennett chasing him. Fires it incomplete, intended for Watson on the far sideline. It probably would not have been enough for the 1st down as well, as Hollis Hall, number 29, was defending against Watson on the play. It'll be 4th down and 8 with 7 minutes exactly remaining in the 1st quarter. And we'll see if, in fact, a field goal attempt will be in order, as Tom Griggs, number 3, is on. And you see what he's done in his career. This year, Griggs, in attempting field goals, has been very effective, very consistent.
I believe he's 2 of 4 and something like 17 of 25 for his career here at Kentucky.
From the 30, it'll be a 40-yard attempt. Will it make it? Yes. Just a few feet over the crossbar, and with 6:54 remaining in the 1st quarter, Kentucky has scored to take the lead 3-0 here in this interconference battle between Clemson and the Wildcats of Kentucky. Senior Rick Strine will kick it off for Kentucky, as back deep to receive 22 Perry Tuttle and 27 Kevin Mack. Mack on the far side, Tuttle on the near side. Strine out of Montoursville, Pennsylvania, kicks it deep over the end line. Automatic touchback, 1st and 10 Clemson at their own 20-yard line.
Steve, I believe there's going to be a penalty on the kickoff. Number 9, Ty Richmond, I believe, was offside for Kentucky, and they may have to kick it again.
The option, of course, will rest with Clemson as to whether or not they want the football at the 20 or whether they want Kentucky to kick it again.
After a kick like that, I think you'd almost have to have him kick it over. He almost kicked that thing out of the stadium.
They are going to make them kick it again as the kicking team is back out. They'll move it back 5 to the 35-yard line, where Strine will kick it again. There's the indication by Pete Williams. And here's the kick again.
And you'll be the official. Watch on your right side. The 3rd man in. See right there, he's offsides. The 3rd man in, Ty Richmond. Good call by the official.
Strine tees it up again, this time from the 35-yard line. We're in the 3rd quarter, or the 1st quarter, midway through it, with the 3-0 Kentucky lead coming on a 40-yard field goal by Tom Griggs. Strine's kick is a low line drive that's bouncing. I think it's Austin who takes it about the 15-yard line, and he gets it up across the 30. Pretty good field position now for Clemson, as they'll have a 1st and 10 at about the 33-yard line to start their 2nd possession. Number 38, Joe Freeman, made the tackle for Kentucky. A 16-yard return by Cliff Austin.
That penalty cost Kentucky 12 yards right there. That's a 12-yard gain for Clemson.
High formation with McCall, and now Chuck McSwain in at tailback behind quarterback Homer Jordan for Clemson. Fake to McSwain. Jordan in and out of the hands of Perry Tuttle at the 42-yard line and incomplete. Defending on the play, Kerry Baird, number 22. Tuttle does not drop very many passes.
Boy, I'll tell you, that is a surprise because that was off a bootleg action. They faked the ball to Austin, came back. Tuttle came across field, was wide open, and dropped the football.
It'll be 2nd down and 10, just inside the 33-yard line of Clemson. The pitch to McSwain. Not much blocking and good Kentucky defense. McSwain gains perhaps 2 is all. Number 59, John Grimsley, their fine linebacker out of Canton, Ohio, up to make the solid hit on McSwain at the 35. It'll be 3rd down and about 7.5 yards to go.
You will see Grimsley and McClellan, they're 2 linebackers for Kentucky, making a lot of tackles because they play deep. Watch right there. Oh, that's an excellent move right in there. Put his head in front of the ball carrier. Good tackle, Grimsley.
Clemson 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. Jordan rolling to throw. Under pressure gets it off. Out of bounds, too tall, intended for his wide receiver, Kendall Alley. Andy Moles was back defending on the play. As you look at Fran Kersey, and the Kentucky crowd comes to his feet, exhorting their defense on, as on 4th down and about 8 yards to go, Clemson will have to punt the football away. Dale Hatcher, number 5, is back into the game to punt. Andy Moles, number 18, is back deep to receive for Kentucky. Good pressure from Kentucky, but Moles, or rather Hatcher, gets it off. What a kick. Moles inside the 10-yard line, and good coverage by Clemson as they get him at about the 14. Just a super punt. Jeff Suttle, number 23, made the tackle on Andy Moles. That's a 56-yard punt by Hatcher, a 5-yard return.
Hatcher had a 49-yard average, almost 48.8 in high school, and had one 74-yard kick. What an offensive weapon Hatcher is for Clemson.
We talked in the pregame, Rick, about what's happened in the 4th quarter. It's really been a problem for Kentucky giving up, and that's when Clemson has scored a lot. We're in the 1st quarter, however, as Abraham carries the football and picks up short yardage, a gain of 2 or 3 perhaps, as they mark it at about the 17. It'll be 2nd down and about 3. But as I was saying, you can see the difference in Clemson scoring 23 in the 4th quarter, although they've scored 31 in the 2nd. Kentucky giving up a lot of points in the 2nd, or rather scoring points in the 2nd, giving up a lot in the 4th, Rick.
And Clemson's defense is not allowed a point in the 2nd quarter, so we'll see what Kentucky can do here because they have poor field position right now.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Abraham just piling off tackle and getting it out across the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 21. Number 45, Jeff Davis, one of the first Clemson defenders to get there. And from the 21-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go, maybe a long 3. Kentucky's defense receiving almost a standing ovation after holding Clemson the last time, but now some concern being expressed for their offense. They're at their own 21 with a 3rd down and 3.5 to go. Jenkins looking over the middle, completes it to his tight end, number 80, Jim Campbell, who's fighting for yardage and may have picked up the 1st down as he gets it across the 25. Andy Hedden, number 12, the defensive end who drops off in pass coverage like a linebacker, made the tackle.
Well, when Kentucky's offensive line has been able to give Jenkins time back there, he's been able to set, he's been looking good, and he's been looking right at Campbell, his favorite target. Big 1st down for Kentucky.
That's the 5th 1st down for Kentucky. Clemson has yet to get a 1st down. Adams, short yardage as he brings it across the 30, near the 32. Gain of 3 or 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 to go. 99 Jeff Bryant and 72 Ray Brown combining for the tackle.
If you're Clemson, what you don't like is to be behind Freedom and in front of a home crowd like Kentucky has here. They're enthusiastic. They're pulling for their ball club, and each time Kentucky makes a 1st down, it gives them that much more encouragement.
2nd down, 6 yards to go. Abraham has a hole across the 35 to the 36. Their best running play of the afternoon. Anthony Rose, 21, and 92 Mark Richardson make the stop.
They're coming off of their left side, and they want to run at Andy Hedden, number 12, the defensive end for Clemson, because he's 6'5" and maybe not as strong as he should be. And I believe Abraham that time could have turned his shoulders a little bit more upfield. He was running more a little bit east and west rather than north and south.
Abraham now has carried 7 times and picked up 20 yards. It's 3rd down and 2. Abraham again keeping those legs moving and gets very near first down yardage. They needed to cross the 38, and he may have done it. Pete Williams asked for the clock to be stopped and says it is. A Kentucky first down. Jeff Davis, 45, made the stop, but good second effort by Abraham. Picked up enough yardage.
I'll tell you, if Abraham keeps running like that, they'll have him sing My Old Kentucky Home at the halftime.
Yeah, remember, he's the one who sang the national anthem, opening the ball game at the 39-yard line of Kentucky, 1st and 10. Adams tripped up on a nice defensive effort, breaking through very quickly. Number 99, Jeff Bryant, to trip up Adams before he could really get underway. He falls right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Jeff Bryant, number 99 for Clemson, is really explosive off of that line. He gets that penetration. He was in that backfield before that counter could get started.
1 minute, 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kentucky leading Clemson 3-0. 2nd down and 10. Kentucky at their own 39. Jenkins completes it to Adams out of the backfield. Adams almost fumbled the football and is tackled for a short gain at the 41-yard line. Suttle and Triplett combining to make the defensive stop, but Adams almost lost the ball. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. A penalty marker is down, and it appears that it is against Kentucky.
It'll be just a 5-yard penalty. There it is. You see it. Now watch. The ball is almost shaken loose from him right there. He's lucky to hold on to it. That's the 2nd time we've seen a back from Kentucky almost fumble the ball.
You see number 45 for Clemson, Jeff Davis, the defensive captain, conferring with the officials as the option is theirs, and they're going to take the penalty. They'll mark it off back to the 30-yard line. And it is an illegal use of hands penalty, the 5-yard variety. Remember, there are 2 holding penalties, one of 5 and one of 10 yards now in college football. If you see the official with his palm toward you in that manner, that is the retreat block holding penalty, a 5-yard assessment. It is 2nd down, 19 yards to go at the 30-yard line of Kentucky. On the draw, Abraham struggling for yardage, gets back the penalty and then some as he gets it out to about the 39-yard line. 45, Jeff Davis, and number 12, Andy Hedden on the tackle. And we have an injured player down for Kentucky. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kentucky is leading Clemson 3-0. While they attend to the injured Kentucky player, we'll take a timeout. Fran Kersey, the Kentucky coach, on the near sideline in the suit. There is his counterpart, Danny Ford, on the far sideline. Number 65, Steve Rishnack, the starting Kentucky center, was the man shaken up. John Madden, a junior from Parkersburg, West Virginia, number 50, is in to replace him. It is 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Kentucky at their own 38. Jenkins gets it away. Too tall, intended for his tight end, Jim Campbell, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Kentucky will have to kick the ball away. We remind you this program is being brought to you as an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds now to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
You're watching TV 13.
Randy Jenkins, who hit a 40-yarder his last time punting this afternoon, is in. And number 24, Billy Davis, the sophomore free safety out of Alexandria, Virginia, is back deep to receive. Jenkins hangs it up. It's very short, however, off the side of his foot. Bounds and takes a Kentucky roll inside the 15, inside the 10. Covered by Kentucky at about the 7-yard line.
Take him any way you can get him. Boy, those short kicks, and let him roll. Randy Jenkins, the quarterback, as Steve pointed out, got a 40-yarder the first time. Now this one looks short, that it's off the side of his foot, but this is why that football takes funny bounces. Now watch it. It just keeps coming. Kentucky people down covering, very intelligent. Sit around, let it go, get as much as they can out of it. Puts Clemson in tough field position.
From their own 7-yard line, 1st and 10. Kentucky leading 3-0 as we near the end of the first quarter. McCall, the fullback, gets a couple, maybe out to about the 9-yard line is all. Number 79, Jeff Smith on the tackle. We remind you, this is only the first of 2 in a doubleheader day here on ABC. Coming up next at 3:45 Eastern Time, you'll see either undefeated and 4th-ranked Pittsburgh, led by quarterback Dan Marino, against South Carolina, or 17th-ranked and undefeated Missouri battles 9th-ranked and undefeated Mississippi State. 2 big games as the second half of our doubleheader here on ABC today. 2nd down and 8. McSwain, the tailback, bumped out of bounds up near the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at about the 14. He needed to get to about the 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. As you see the clock running out, that's the end of the first quarter here in Bluegrass Country, Commonwealth Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, with the Kentucky Wildcats getting an ovation from a capacity crowd of about 56,000 as they lead Clemson 3-0.
In New York, this is Dave Dials, and at New Haven, Connecticut, the Middies of Navy strike quickly on the ground. Quarterback Marco Pagnanelli, a 1-yard run against Yale. The extra point makes it 7-0. And then Villanueva tries to punt, but Travis Wallington blocks it. Yale recovers in the end zone for a safety. It's 9-0. Navy has since added a field goal. The Middies lead 12-0. Now back to Steve Zabriskie.
Thank you, Dave Dials. We're back at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington. Rick, your old Naval Academy team's doing quite well so far.
They are playing super, and I saw their game against Michigan last week, and they just did a great job. Could have won it.
It is 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Clemson. They are inside their own 15-yard line. Homer Jordan on the option, cuts it back up. He has enough for the 1st down as he gets to about the 22. Nice move by quarterback Homer Jordan to pick up the 1st down. Don Fielder, 53, made the tackle as we look at the statistics from the first quarter.
Really all Kentucky. Just look at that time of possession. 11:29 for Kentucky. 3 minutes and 31 seconds for Clemson. Big part of the statistics.
Clemson with no 1st downs. Kentucky with 6. Clemson has just picked up their first down of the afternoon on that run by Homer Jordan. We're just underway here in the second quarter. 3-0, Kentucky leading Clemson. They've got a problem with the scoreboard clock, and they have called a timeout in an effort to rectify that problem. There you see the time remaining here in the second quarter. Now it's running. They've got it started again. And we're back to play. 1st and 10. The ball at the 22-yard line of Clemson. The option again. Jordan looking to cut it back up inside. Not much doing there. Number 53, Don Fielder, and number 57, Effley Brooks, the nose guard, a junior from Columbus, Ohio, made the tackle on Jordan. He punches it out for 2 to the 24. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
That time the entire Kentucky defense, including Don Fielder, number 53, got off their blocks, shed them, moved down the line of scrimmage, and made the tackle on Homer Jordan.
On 2nd and 8. Jordan again running the option, pitching to McSwain. The tailback slipping and falling as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Covered there immediately by number 22, Kerry Beard, the left cornerback out of Franklin, Kentucky, who was penetrating very well and really probably caused McSwain to slip down. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go as they mark it just out of the 25.
That's the way you want to defend the option. Make that quarterback kick it out before he wants to, and that's what Kentucky did.
Jeff Stockstill, a wide receiver, comes split to the left side as Perry Tuttle goes in motion on 3rd down and 7. Jordan rolling to pass. In and out of the hands of Stockstill at about the 45-yard line, incomplete. Andy Moles, number 18, defending on the play. And again, the crowd comes to its feet in celebration of the job the Kentucky defense has done so far as we look at it again.
Big third down play by Kentucky's defense, but that time Stockstill, number 15, and Tuttle, 22, ran the wrong routes. They were sitting too close together, helped the Kentucky defense. Fourth down, Clemson.
Dale Hatcher is on to punt. Last time he kicked one 56 yards, and Andy Moles is back deep to receive. This a beauty. Turns it over and sends Moles to the 10-yard line. Picks it up at about the 8. Trying to get to the outside. He has some blockers. Moles at midfield. Can't get by the last two defenders, but gets it into Clemson territory. It'll be near the 43-yard line, and I believe there is a penalty marker down around the 26 of Kentucky. There may have been a clip on the play. Cliff Austin made the tackle finally, but a great return after a great punt.
That's the thing. When he kicks that thing long, he out-kicks the coverage. They had the wall set up. Moles did a good job of picking it up. It was a great job, but there is a penalty on the play.
13:04 left in the second quarter. We'll be back. They didn't wait for us to go, and the penalty was for blocking below the waist. Kentucky was moved back inside their 15-yard line. They ran two plays with Terry Henry coming in at quarterback. On the second play, he fumbled the exchange from center. Clemson has recovered this fumble, and they have good field position at the 17-yard line. Here it is again. Jeff Bryant, number 99, recovering the missed exchange between the center and the new quarterback, Terry Henry. Clemson first and 10 at the Kentucky 17. Henry coming in at quarterback on that last series for Kentucky, but running only two plays. Cliff Austin, the tailback, fighting through the tacklers and getting it inside the 10. Great second effort by Cliff Austin. Dale Lyons, number 84, the right side defensive end, made the tackle. Big turnaround, Rick, as it looked like Kentucky was going to have excellent field position on the punt. First, they had the penalty blocking below the waist, and then on the second play, the fumbled exchange.
Well, when you put a new quarterback in the game, that can happen.
Second down, 3 yards to go following the gain of 7 by Austin. The ball is about the 7.5-yard line. Kevin Mack. Short yardage as Kentucky's defense closes down. May have picked up enough for the first down. Appears to be about a yard short, however. Depending on where they mark the football, they mark it at about the 7. It'll be...
I think they're going to measure for it, Steve.
Yeah, I was going to say possibly enough for a first down. They are bringing the chains on. 11:28 remaining here in the second quarter. Kentucky leading 3-0. And the fumble exchange from center by quarterback Terry Henry has put Clemson in good position. They now have a first and goal at the 7-yard line of Kentucky. Brendan Cright, number 38, is into the backfield. Homer Jordan, the quarterback, leads them up. The first real threat by Clemson this afternoon. Austin puts his head down and gets it to about the 3. We remind you that on College Football 81 tomorrow, you'll be seeing highlights of these games. Some big ones going on around the country today, throughout all the conferences. Be sure to check the local listings in your area for the time of that program. College Football 81 with highlights of college football tomorrow here on ABC. Kentucky now with their backs against the wall. Their defense has done the job so far today. Can they stop Clemson? Austin diving. No indication. He's short of the goal line. It'll be third down and goal as he got it inside the 1-yard line before John Grimsley and Chris Ferentz made the tackle.
This time Austin just goes right over the top. Boy, he wants that touchdown. Excellent effort by Cliff Austin, the tailback for Clemson. Oh, man, he just missed it by about 2 feet, but they're threatening.
It is third down and goal. Austin again diving. No indication yet. Clemson is indicating touchdown. None of the officials have raised their arms.
Steve, I think the one official on the far side looked like he was going to put his arms up, but didn't.
Efley Brooks, number 57, the nose guard, was submarining and prevented any offensive penetration by Clemson. Here it is again.
You be the judge here now. Look at him going up over the top. Good Kentucky defense. They stopped him right there at the goal line.
Very, very close. They, in fact, have marked the football back a half a yard from where it was. They're saying that Austin lost yardage on the play. And at least, Rick, from the angle of our replay, I thought he at least got it to the goal line.
Well, I did too, but you never know. The officials are right there. They got the best view, and good call.
Fran Kersey conferring with referee Pete Williams as Clemson has asked for a timeout now. As on 4th down and 1. They want to be sure that they're straight. They have one more shot at it. And it appears as if they are not going to go for the field goal because neither of the kickers is on, including Donald Ikwaviki. Homer Jordan talking to Danny Ford and the offensive coaches. Danny Ford obviously not too thrilled. As we look at the play once again, Austin carrying the ball for the second straight time.
You see number 49, Kevin McClellan. He got a little bit of his arm, and it might have slowed him up just a little bit. Here's where the test comes for a defense. Right here, boy. You've got your backs against the wall. 4th down and about 2 feet. You got to make the play. Clemson saying, hey, baby, we're down here. We've got to stuff it in.
9 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Kentucky leading 3-0. Clemson 4th down and goal. As you see, about 2/3 of a yard to go. Austin again. I don't believe he made it. No, he did not. First down, Kentucky. Efley Brooks, 70, Keith Martin, stopping Cliff Austin at the goal line.
Boy, you're looking right down the line. Now, watch the penetration right here. Look at it now. They just stop him, and that's what you have to do at the goal line. You tell your people, get that penetration. Don't let them get started. Great stand by Kentucky.
Kevin McClellan, 49, also helped coming over the top. 1st and 10, Kentucky. Trying to punch it out. Adams, the ball carrier, gets a yard or two. I believe a penalty marker has been dropped by the umpire behind the defense. John Gay, number 23, the ball carrier, and not 33, Adams, as Gay has come in at running back for Kentucky. The Wildcats defense, really the story for them so far, Rick, and they really did it when they had to on 4th and goal.
Steve, people might question and say, why would Clemson not kick the field goal? I think that's an excellent call down there. Go for it on 4th down, because even if you don't make it, Kentucky has 99 yards to go for 6.
The illegal motion, the indication by Pete Williams against Kentucky. It'll still be 1st down. This time 11 yards to go, as half the distance to the goal moves it right near the goal line. Abraham met right at the line of scrimmage, and boy, Clemson's defense now is really fired up as well. Did not gain much, if anything. 71, Dan Benish, one of the first defenders in there.
Well, you know, when you're on defense in this position for Clemson, you tell your people, you're the offensive people. You've got to beat the offensive lineman to the punch. And that time, the Clemson defensive line, they fired off, and they did beat the Kentucky offensive line on the ball.
2nd down, still about 11 yards to go inside the 1-yard line. Adams, no, it's John Gay. John Gay gets out of bounds short of the 1st down, as he gets a little more room, however, out to about the 8-yard line before Terry Kennard, number 43, bumps Gay out of bounds. Gay, a freshman from Monroeville, Pennsylvania. 3rd down and 3.
If you're the defensive coach for Clemson, you're saying, do not let them get out of the sack down there. Do not allow them to make a 1st down.
8.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Kentucky leading 3-0 after repelling a Clemson scoring threat at the 1-foot line. On the option, Henry may have the 1st down, and does, as he gets to about the 14. Thought about pitching it, but kept it and turns it upfield before William Perry and Tim Childers make the tackle. It's another first down for Kentucky, and they've got a little breathing room now.
Boy, this is you want. A quarterback who can make that decision. Watch him fake that little pitch, get the man to commit outside, turn the ball upside, right up the field. That's why Terry Henry's in there, because he can run the football. Remember, he was a halfback, a running back in 1980, the second leading rusher. So Henry can run with a football.
He's carried 3 times now for 9 yards. First and 10, Kentucky from the 14. John Gay breaks through a hole and gets almost 5 as he gets it out past the 18. Terry Kennard coming up in the secondary with a good hit on the freshman running back John Gay. They mark it right at the 18-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Kentucky, Rick, perhaps doing a little better offensively than was anticipated.
Well, I think, you know, they've got some pretty good people. They're young people, and they're just going to get a little bit better each game.
Abraham may have the first down as he's out near the 25. 82 Danny Triplett, the junior out of Boone, North Carolina, made the tackle, but not before. Richard Abraham picks up another Kentucky first down just inside the Kentucky 25.
Each time Kentucky makes a first down, their confidence builds a little bit more and more that they can move the football.
Abraham now has carried 11 times and picked up 38 yards. 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Abraham again. Straight up the middle for a gain of about 3 yards to the 28. 71 Dan Benish and 76 Steve Berlin, a freshman from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, combining for the stop. Gain of 3, maybe 3.5 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7. Kentucky continuing to go with the full house backfield and the running quarterback Terry Henry operating the attack. On the option, chased from behind and dropped by Andy Hedden. 230-pound defensive end Andy Hedden out of Liberty, North Carolina, was coming all the way. And with the reverse pivot that Henry used coming out of there, Hedden had time to catch up with him.
Andy Hedden, an ex-quarterback here at Clemson, showed how well he can run. He came from the backside and chased the play down.
Randy Jenkins, number 12, coming in at quarterback now as Terry Henry comes out and receives the applause of the crowd for the job that he's done so far. Kentucky 4 of 7 on third down conversions. It is third down and 8. 2 wide receivers into the game. Rolling away. Jenkins looking and completes it at the 39-yard line. Hollis Hall made the tackle immediately, but the reception by Rick Massey will give Kentucky another first down.
Clemson had the blitz on that time. Kentucky picked it up well, and Jenkins was able to get to the outside, picked up his receiver Massey, curling to the inside. First down, Kentucky.
Now Henry comes back in and Jenkins comes out, and some people here don't like it. That's Massey's second catch for 27 yards from the 38 of Kentucky. First and 10. Abraham, power running play straight ahead with a lead blocker, gets 3 to the 41. It'll be second down and 7. Jeff Bryant, 99, and Dan Benish, 71, made the tackle.
I believe the reason that Kersey is changing quarterbacks, he's trying to change the tempo of the game. Put Jenkins in, throw the ball a little bit, come back with Henry and run the football.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Kentucky leading 3-0. Henry on the option, cutting inside, picking up some extra yardage with a nice move. A short gain of perhaps 2 yards is all, however, as he gets it out to the 43-yard line, and the gain of 2 will make it third down and about 6 yards to go. 82 Triplett and 84 Bill Smith on the tackle, and back into the game comes Jenkins.
The only thing you risk when you chain those quarterbacks is you might get that bad exchange, you might get that fumble. It's just the risk you take.
We saw it happen when Henry came in on his second offensive play. That's when the Kentucky defense had to hold Clemson, and they did. Third down and 6. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Adams coming out of the backfield. Almost picked off as Hollis Hall made a diving try for it. Jeff Davis, 45, was defending on the play. It'll be fourth down and 6, and Kentucky will have to punt. Jenkins will do the punting as he is still in the ball game. Last punt, a 55-yarder, as both kickers, he and Hatcher of Clemson, have been most effective this afternoon. Billy Davis, 24, dropping back inside his 15-yard line as Jenkins will hit it from his own 35. Another good hanging kick. Davis at the 10. Good coverage by Kentucky down near the 6-yard line. Terry Baird, number 22, one of the first Kentucky defenders to get down there. Kentucky will have Clemson backed up again. 3:53 remaining in the second quarter. We'll be back. Clemson with the football first and 10 at their own 6-yard line, following a punt of 47 yards by Jenkins and a return of -4 as Terry Baird, number 22, the sophomore defensive back, was down there to cover. Jordan not having success throwing the ball so far, with McCall and McSwain in the backfield behind him. McSwain to the 10. Gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Keith Martin, number 70, on the tackle. We want to remind you that coming up at halftime today as our Fireman's Fund flashback here on ABC, we'll have a look at that great rivalry between the Boilermakers of Purdue and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the half. McSwain now has carried 4 times for 13 yards. It's second down and 6. Clemson at their own 10. The option to McSwain. Nice block on the corner as McSwain picks up the first down and dives to about the 19-yard line. Kerry Baird, number 22, tripped him up. Clemson gets it out from in front of their own goalposts as they get to about the 19 with a first and 10.
The down the line option that they like. Jordan just comes right down the line, kicks the ball out to McSwain. He turned the ball right up the field.
That's the third first down for Clemson. Kentucky has 9 from the 19. Jordan looking to throw. Tipped. It was tipped by the linebacker, number 59, John Grimsley, the 200-pound sophomore, intended for Jeff Stockstill. And the defensive play by Grimsley causes the incompletion, the clock stopping with 2:48 remaining in the half. Jordan now 0 for 4 passing. It'll be second down and 10, still at the 19.
What the Kentucky defense is doing, when Jordan, the minute he sprints out, they're trying to get an end to come right upfield and put a hand right in his face and make it difficult for him to throw the ball downfield.
Second down and 10. Jordan to pass again. Under pressure, he's sacked. Number 53, Don Fielder, a senior out of Garden Grove, California, one of the first defenders there, along with number 70, sophomore Keith Martin of Owensboro, Kentucky. It'll be third down and a big loss on the play. Reminder that Monday, here on Monday Night Football on ABC, a big game, Atlanta and the Philadelphia Eagles, two of the top teams in the NFC, one of the top quarterbacks as well, Steve Bartkowski and Ron Jaworski going at it. The Falcons and the Eagles, Monday night at 9 here on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Third down and 16 yards to go. Jordan trying to cut it back against the grain, will not get nearly enough as he gets just past the original line of scrimmage near the 20-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 10. Kevin McClellan, number 49, the sophomore from Massillon, Ohio, made the tackle, and Clemson will have to kick it away. Dale Hatcher is on to punt. And back deep to receive is Andy Moles, number 18. We'll be back in a minute. Dale Hatcher, who, as you see, has been most effective, is on to punt. Andy Moles has dropped back near his 30-yard line to receive for Kentucky. 1 minute, 51 seconds remaining in the first half. Kentucky leading Clemson 3-0. Hatcher almost fumbles it, but gets it away from the 10. Line drive. Moles watches it, now takes it at the 28. Back to the 35, and that is it. Number 47, Roy Brown, a sophomore linebacker from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, makes the tackle on Andy Moles, a return of 7 yards, and again a most effective punt, a 52-yarder by Dale Hatcher.
That time Hatcher almost had a costly fumble. He took his eye off the football momentarily, almost fumbled it, but he did get the ball off, got a good roll. Kentucky first and 10 on their own 35.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. 1 minute 38 left to play in the second quarter. First and 10, Kentucky, just inside their own 35. Jenkins, complete to Adams. Adams to the 45-yard line, falls forward maybe to the 46. 26, Tim Childers, and 82, Danny Triplett were defending as Kentucky's going with the hurry-up offense. The chains are set, the clock running with 1:25 remaining, first and 10 from their own 45. Looking to the sideline and firing, it's complete to number 86, Alan Watson, the junior wide receiver who has the ball right at about midfield for a gain of about 5, stopping the clock with 1 minute 17 seconds remaining.
Just a little quick pass to 86, Alan Watson. Quick set by Jenkins, a little turnout, steps right out of bounds, stops the clock. Intelligent football.
Jenkins now is 6 of 11 passing for 50 yards. It is second down, 5 yards to go, the ball right at the 50. Jenkins to pass again, flips it over the middle, intercepted by Clemson. Picked off by Hollis Hall, number 29. As Jenkins just flipped that ball softly, Hall anticipated it beautifully and got it. It'll be first and 10, Clemson at their own 44-yard line. We'll be back with 1:11 remaining in the first half.
Hollis Hall, number 29, his second interception of the year right there, boy, and that was a good stop there by Clemson. Kentucky was moving with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. All Jenkins did was throw the ball off balance. Clemson had blitzed on that play. The Kentucky offensive line picked it up, but Jenkins threw it off balance, interception, Clemson's ball.
First and 10 at their own 43. Jordan wants to pass. Tackled in the backfield. McCall was making the block for him, but the defender fought off the block and made the tackle. Number 94, Dave Lyons, with the big defensive play. A junior from Pikeville, Kentucky, and Clemson is going in a hurry as now we have 51 seconds remaining. Jordan looking to throw again. Throws it out of bounds, stopping the clock with 47 seconds left in the half.
That was a good move on Jordan's part. Both receivers were covered here in the sideline. All he did was throw the ball up into the stands so no one could get it, and it stopped the clock. There it is, Navy 12, Yale 9. Yale's coming back. They were down 12-zip. North Carolina State 6, Virginia 3.
47 seconds remaining in the first half. Third down and 10, Clemson. Down the far sideline, too tall. The penalty marker is down, however. Thrown on the far sideline. The pass was intended for Frank Magwood, number 2. And 22, Kerry Baird, the left cornerback, was defending, and apparently a pass interference call has been made against Baird at the 35-yard line of Kentucky. It'll be first down, Clemson, with 40 seconds remaining as Fran Kersey looks on from the near sideline. The clock will start again when the ball is snapped. Jordan, who has yet to complete a pass, does to Austin. Austin, trying to get out of bounds, picks up about 7 yards on the far sideline at about the 27.
He wasn't able to stop the clock right there, so they've got to huddle up in a hurry here and keep things going with 21 seconds left.
That's right. He did not get out of bounds. 18 seconds left as Jordan goes back. Clock still running. Can't find anybody open. A penalty marker is down as Jordan runs it out of bounds, short of the first down, with 11 seconds now remaining on the clock. And we'll wait to see what the penalty is as 59 John Grimsley ran him out of bounds. But they ate up a lot of the clock on those two plays. Illegal motion, Pete Williams says, against Clemson on the play, which happens quite often, Rick, when you're trying to get going in a hurry.
Well, that's why you try to work so much on your 2-minute offense. And I really don't understand why Clemson didn't take a timeout there. They had 2 timeouts left, and as you point out, they lost a lot of time on that clock.
Austin's inability to get out of bounds on the far sideline, plus Jordan having to run all the way across the field, knocked him all the way down to 11 seconds. That's the 4th penalty against Clemson for a total of 33 yards. The ball now at the 32-yard line. Second down, 7 yards to go, but The important statistic is 11 seconds remaining on the clock. The draw to Austin, and he will go nowhere. Number 57, Efley Brooks, the nose guard, and number 70, Keith Martin, the defensive tackle, both penetrated. And now timeout has been called by Clemson with 6 seconds remaining.
Just the sprint draw right there to Cliff Austin, but Efley Brooks, the young man from Columbus, Ohio, who is the big play guy for Kentucky, made the stop.
3-0, Kentucky leading. As you see, 6 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Kentucky's defense really has been the story for them today, plus the punting by both teams that have kept both teams with relatively poor field position. 56,000 on hand, a super support of Kentucky football here in Bluegrass country. And now Ikwebike is in to attempt the field goal. Ikwebike will attempt it from the 39-yard line. 6 seconds remaining on the clock. It'll be a 49-yard attempt. Peretti is holding. A line drive is no good. It just skitters into the end zone. As Ikwebike did not get a good hit at it, he didn't hit the ball very squarely now with 1 second remaining on the clock. Looked as though Ricky hit that ball too high up on the ball.
Well, I'm not familiar with those sidewinders at all, but he did. Matter of fact, they almost had to have trap blocking in the middle. His kick was so low, and I've seen him kick so well. But what happens here, he does. He just gets it up a little high on the football, it looked like there, and he got it low. Big break for Kentucky, not too good for Clemson. Kentucky takes over with about 1 second left on the clock.
Kentucky at their own 33-yard line. Clemson dropping way off the line in a prevent defense. Jenkins dropping straight back and getting some pressure, throwing long as time runs out. It's almost intercepted, knocked down, incomplete, and out of bounds as the first half comes to an end. Terry Kennard back deep defending. The crowd applauding as they really appreciate the effort both teams have put forth today. And as we were saying, Rick, the punting game and the defense, the story so far.
And Clemson just hasn't been able to seem to gel their offense at all, just like we've seen in the other ball games.
3-0 Kentucky, and we'll be back with today's halftime activities after this message and a word from our local station. Steve Zabriskie along with Rick Forzano as we're ready for the start of the third quarter with Kentucky leading Clemson 3-0. Rick Strine will kick it off. Number 17, Perry Tuttle and Kevin Mack are back deep to receive for Clemson, standing on their goal line. Very little wind still here in the stadium. Strine with a nice high kickoff. Tuttle will take it at the 3-yard line. Looking for an opening, caught from behind as he falls forward, short of the 20. Good coverage by Kentucky. Number 9, Ty Richmond, a sophomore strong safety, made the tackle.
The first half stats, you can see it. Clemson only has 4 first downs. Kentucky's 10. There's big. 8 yards for Clemson. Passing the ball, Kentucky 50. But the time of possession, that's the big difference. Kentucky overwhelming.
First and 10, Clemson at their own 17. Again, they start with poor field position. Chuck McSwain, the tailback. McSwain goes nowhere. Good pursuit. Coming through first was number 57, Efley Brooks, the nose guard, who lost his helmet, and then 53 Don Fielder wrapped him up.
Ohio State leading Florida State in the first quarter 7-3. Again, the same score, still Navy 12, Yale 9 at the half. Harvard 6, Army zip.
Gain of 2 on the carry by McSwain. It is second down and 8 yards to go at the 19 of Clemson. Jordan looking to throw, completes it. Bubba Diggs, the tight end, with a nice reception and good running afterwards as he picks up a first down, moving it all the way out to the 43-yard line of Clemson before Greg Long and Andy Moles make the tackle.
Off of bootleg action, Jordan fakes to his tailback. McSwain comes back the opposite way. Bubba Diggs, number 85, he finds him in the seam, and that's the first catch for Bubba Diggs this year.
A gain of 24 yards as Jordan hooks up with the sophomore tight end. First down at Clemson 43. McSwain finds a hole and breaks it to midfield. Wrapped up around the ankles by Don Fielder, the senior out of Garden Grove, California. But not before McSwain picks up big yardage on first down. A gain of about 7 yards right across midfield just into Kentucky territory. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Steve, this is about the second time in the ball game that Clemson's had any field position.
Let's see what they can do with it now, as their offense has been sporadic this season so far. And Kentucky defense has given them all they've wanted. Inside trap play, the handoff is to Kevin Mack, the fullback, and the sophomore out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, picks up short yardage, maybe enough for the first down. We remind you this is what's coming up next on this doubleheader day of NCAA football for you on ABC. The Pitt Panthers go against South Carolina. Dan Marino, the fine Pittsburgh quarterback, leading the 4th-ranked and unbeaten Panthers down in Columbia. Or you will see, depending on where you live, unbeaten Missouri and undefeated Mississippi State, number 17 and number 9 in the country. While they measure, let's take time out with 13:12 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. To remind you that this program is being brought to you as an exclusive of ABC, and we'll pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. As you saw, it was not enough for the first down. About a half a yard to go at the 48-yard line of Kentucky. And this time Jordan will take it himself as he pushes forward behind his offensive line and looks to have gained a full yard to the 47, which should be enough for the first down. Jeff Smith, number 79, along with F. Lee Brooks, the nose guard, pulling him down at that point. They mark it really to the 46, so he gained 2. And it will be 1st and 10 Clemson. Kentucky leads 3-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Split backs now in the backfield, one of the few times that's been employed by Clemson as Jordan rolls left. Under pressure, he pulls it down. He will get to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Again, fine defense. Kevin McClellan, number 49, the sophomore linebacker, made the tackle on him, but there were some other people there, and obviously, Rick, the receivers were covered as well.
They were covered well downfield, and as a defensive coach, what you want to do against a guy like Jordan when he sprints up, make him pull the ball down and turn up inside, and that's where you have your pursuit. Good defense, Kentucky.
They give him a half-yard gain on the forward progress. 2nd down and about 9.5 to go. Just outside the 45 of Kentucky. McSwain, good hold. First down. Inside the 35 and pumped out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Chuck McSwain, Tom Petty, number 4, knocked him out of bounds, and Brian Clark, number 70, with a great block to spring McSwain loose.
They decided they're going to run right at those linebackers. McSwain does an excellent job of picking the hole off on his left side. They were able to cut off the 2 linebackers, McClellan and Grimsley, for Kentucky.
Little sunbathing by the Clemson Tiger. Our ABC banner making a nice beach blanket for him there. It's cool, but a beautiful day. McSwain on the pitch on 1st and 10 will get maybe 2, as a lot of blue shirts get there very quickly, led by number 70, Keith Martin. It'll be 2nd down now and about 8.5 yards to go as they mark it just inside the 30-yard line of Kentucky. 11 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter as McSwain now leaves the game. Cliff Austin is back in at tailback, number 7. The fullback is Kevin Mack, number 27. Fake to Austin. Jordan under pressure. Trying to get away, runs into one of his own offensive blockers, Clark, and finally is wrapped up by 37, Greg Long, the strong safety who was penetrating, along with F. Lee Brooks, the nose guard.
That time Jordan, off the bootleg action, was going to go to Tuttle downfield, but again, there was good coverage, but pressures put on by Greg Long on a safety blitz. There you see he makes Jordan pull up. He misses the tackle, but the pursuit gets to him.
The loss on the play moves the ball back to the 32.5-yard line. It is 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Clemson 2 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Over the middle, complete to Frank Magwood at the 15-yard line. First down, Clemson. Andy Moles was right there, but Jordan and Magwood hooked up for a perfect play and a big 3rd down conversion. A 1st and 10 now at the Kentucky 15 as we look at it again.
Jordan play action faked his tailback, Cliff Austin. Makes it look like the sprint draw. He has great protection, looks downfield, finds Magwood. Watch him. He threads the needle right in there. Good play, first down, Clemson.
A gain of 18 yards. McSwain, who's back in with a new jersey, steps over a defender and falls forward to about the 13-yard line, maybe the 12.5. Keith Martin, number 70, and 57 F. Lee Brooks again making the tackle for the Kentucky defense.
Clemson's had the ball already for 5 minutes in the third quarter here, Steve. Good ball possession.
Danny Ford, out of the Alabama factory of coaches. Bear Bryant Associates are coaching everywhere all over the country now. 2nd and 7. McSwain avoids the tackler, gets down to the the 11-yard line, and the defense closed on him very quickly. Andy Moles, number 18, one of the first defenders there, along with F. Lee Brooks, who slid off to the left side. They mark it just outside the 11. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
It looked like McSwain was really going to be able to roll up in there, but Moles came from his safety position and really put a hit on him.
Now the Kentucky fans exhort their defense on. 3rd and 6 from the Kentucky 11. On the option, Kevin Mack, the fullback. Touchdown, Clemson.
A very surprise call. 3rd and long. You think he maybe pass it, but he gives the ball to his fullback, reading it on the veer. Number 27, Kevin Mack, straight into the end zone. Touchdown. An excellent, excellent possession by Clemson. Well, I'll tell you, that is good running also.
Bob Pauling is on to attempt the extra point. It is good. 9 minutes and 2 seconds left. An impressive drive by Clemson as they come back now to regain the lead. Kentucky had led 3-0 throughout the entire first half. Now it's 7-3 Clemson. Donald Igwebike from Nigeria set to kick off for the Clemson Tigers as the large contingent of orange-clad Clemson fans finally have something to cheer about. The Tigers taking the lead 7-3 at 9:02 remaining in the third quarter. Back deep to receive Adams and Petty. Igwebike's kick will be a deep one. Petty will take it about 6 yards deep and will not return it. The touchback will give Kentucky a 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Clemson, 5 minutes and 58 seconds, 13 plays, 83 yards. A great possession, as I pointed out earlier. That's what you want as an offensive coach. Hold the ball a long time, go in and score.
Randy Jenkins is in at quarterback for Kentucky. And that, Rick, is really the first time Clemson had mounted any kind of a consistent offense against the Kentucky defense today. From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, Kentucky. Adams and Abraham in the backfield with Jenkins, who wants to put it up. Intended for Adams, incomplete, in and out of his hands, and almost picked off on the far sideline.
Watson caught that ball,
It was
Steve.
caught.
Yeah.
Alan Watson picked the ball up after it was tipped by Adams, the intended receiver.
That's why you work on the tip draw. Watch it now. Watson, number 33, will tip the ball right into Watson's hands. It's alert Watson, catches the ball, steps out of bounds. 1st down, Kentucky. Get him any way you can.
Excellent reaction by Watson as the ball went off Adams' shoulder pad. 1st and 10, Kentucky at their own 34. Adams trying to get outside, does, and breaks through for good yardage as he gets it out to about the 43. Nice balance and second effort by Adams before William Devane, number 94, bumped him out of bounds.
You always like the back like Adams, who has 6 rushes for 25 yards. It can turn the ball upfield, get his shoulders squared, get all the yardage he can. That time Adams did. 2nd short. This is a good down for Kentucky.
2nd and 1, Kentucky at their own 43. Full house backfield again. This time they break it off and send Rob Mangus to a 2 tight end set. Abraham, the fullback, has the 1st down as he gets to the 45. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Jeff Davis on the tackle for Clemson. We're in the third quarter with Clemson leading Kentucky now 7-3. The 12th 1st down of the day for Kentucky. Fran Kersey, the Kentucky coach, on the near sideline. Got to be pleased with the better performance of his offense today. A little more consistent than they've been their first 3 ball games. Danny Ford, his coaching opponent for Clemson, on the far sideline. First and 10. Jenkins under some pressure, gets it away, and it's too tall for Adams, as Jenkins just flipped that ball a little bit in an effort really to avoid the loss, as he was hit immediately afterward. Jeff Bryant, number 99, and Dan Benish, number 71, was right in his face.
That time that Clemson defense again with a little bit of a blitz put the pressure on Jenkins. Now watch, Jenkins is going to sprint out to his left. He doesn't have a chance to come outside. He's trying to duck underneath, just get rid of the football. He threw it high. Good defense by Clemson.
Second down and 10. Kentucky at their own 45. Jenkins to pass again. Under pressure and dropped. Big number 66, William Perry, the freshman out of Aiken, South Carolina, 6'3", 300 pounds. The nose guard had him from the word go and was not going to let go.
Boy, Perry, he just kept after him, and there's a guy, as you say, 300. I heard 305 that can really move up there. Now watch the pressure exerted by number 66, Perry, coming in there. Watch, he keeps coming. Two people try to block him. He's persistent. He stays right on Jenkins. Big sack for Clemson.
Loss of 18 yards for Kentucky. It is 3rd and 28. The ball now at their own 27. The draw to Abraham. He fumbles the football. Still loose. Clemson says they have it. They do. Another big turnover as Andy Hedden, number 12, comes up with the big defensive play for Clemson. That's the 3rd Kentucky turnover. 7 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. The Clemson defense will be on the spot again as Clemson will take over at the 22-yard line of Kentucky.
Clemson leads the nation in takeaways, fumble recoveries, and interceptions. Here they're opportunistic again. They recover a fumble. The 3rd turnover for Kentucky. Clemson has the ball. Kentucky's defense to be tested again.
Clemson with a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. 7:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson leads Kentucky 7-3 after an 83-yard touchdown march here in the 3rd quarter. They have an opportunity again following that fumble recovery. McSwain fighting for yardage, gets inside the 20, down near the 16 or 17-yard line. Tom Petty, the right cornerback, and Andy Moles, the free safety, number 18, made the tackle.
That time it looked like that Jordan audibleized the play at the line of scrimmage because they were able to cut off the fine nose guard for Kentucky, Effley Brooks, and pick up almost 5 yards.
Second down, a long 5 to go. Kevin Mack, the fullback, met right head up in the hole by the linebacker, John Grimsley, number 59, the 200-pound sophomore who filled the hole perfectly. Gain of maybe a yard or two on the play, however. They'll mark it at the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.5 yards to go. And now an official timeout. Apparently, Grimsley was shaken up on that play, number 59, as he met Mack head on in the hole. He doesn't want to come out. He doesn't want to talk to the trainers, but the referee, Pete Williams, says they'd like for them to look at him. Anytime a player gets hit in the head like that, Rick, head on, you really don't want to take any chances.
Absolutely, and that's an alert official as far as I'm concerned. Of Pete Williams, he's played the game before. He says, hey, I don't want this young man playing like there. Now watch the hit by Grimsley right here.
We didn't really see the initial head-on contact. Anyway, they're back to play on 3rd down and about 3.5 to go from the 15-yard line of Kentucky. Homer Jordan running the option. He has the first down inside the 10. Jordan gets it down near the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal once again for Clemson.
I'll tell you, both Jordan, the quarterback, and Mack, the fullback, made great fakes that time. Jordan picks the ball out of Mack's stomach, takes the ball with his quick feet, is able to turn the ball upfield. Now watch the fake here by 27, Mack. Turns the ball, he's tackled. Now watch Jordan turn his shoulders right upfield with those quick feet. He gets a 1st down, Clemson.
Joe Freeman is in at linebacker replacing Grimsley. Here's McSwain fighting for yardage and getting down near the 5. Gain of about 3 yards on the play as McSwain gets it just across the 5-yard line before Andy Moles, the free safety, number 18, and Tom Petty, number 4, come up to hit him there. The gain is to the 5. Another player is injured and shaken up. Coming out is 57, F. Lee Brooks, the nose guard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. 5 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Homer Jordan following his fullback into the hole and diving forward for a yard or 2 is all. Wrapped up by Dave Lyons, number 94, a junior defensive end. The ball now at the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal as Grimsley, to 59, is back in now at linebacker, and Freeman comes out for Kentucky. Kentucky did it earlier in the ball game on 4 straight plays inside the 5. They repelled Clemson. Their fans obviously would like to see them do it again. Jordan faking to McSwain. He will walk in. Touchdown, Clemson.
Just a great fake. Boy, a lot of poise by Jordan. He faked off to his right and walked into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. Watch him fake now. Watch him hide the ball. The containment of Kentucky went to sleep on the right side. They were going with the flow. Touchdown, Clemson.
That's Jordan's 3rd touchdown rushing. And now the extra point attempt is up. And it is good as Bob Pauling kicks it through with 4:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson has capitalized on a Kentucky turnover to go now farther out in front as they lead the Wildcats 14-3. Donald Igwebuike will kick it off for Clemson as the Tigers have gone out in front 14-3 rather, as you look at Igwebuike. Back deep to receive are Petty and Adams for Kentucky. Nice deep kick. Igwebuike and Petty will get it at the end line and not return it, quite obviously. Here's the touchdown once again.
When you coach defense, you always tell a defensive man when the play goes away, you look for the boot. Someone didn't do that, didn't carry out their assignment. Homer Jordan, after the bootleg fake, goes in for 6 points.
That came after a Kentucky turnover, the fumble by Richard Abraham, which had given them the ball at the 21-yard line, and there's the scoring drive.
Fumble caused it all.
Randy Jenkins, number 12, is in at quarterback for Kentucky. Abraham and Adams in the backfield behind him on 1st and 10 from the 20. Jenkins under pressure gets it to Adams. Adams has a first down as he gets out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. We may have some kind of an infraction as the Kentucky fans and the Kentucky players on the sideline wanted a face mask penalty.
Jenkins does an excellent job of avoiding the pressure, finding Adams in the flat, and Adams is the young man that they like to go to when they're going to throw the ball to their backs. Boy, that looks like a face mask to me, but wow.
Danny Triplett grabbed him, and quite obviously, according to the replay at least, by either the face mask or the side of the helmet. There is no penalty, however. Fran Kersey not too thrilled that there wasn't a penalty called. It is first down for Kentucky at their own 33, a gain of 13 on the pass play. Adams hit behind the line on a fine defensive play by number 90, Johnny Rembert, a junior linebacker from Arcadia, Florida, who came slicing through to catch Adams behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of maybe a foot on the play is all. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for all intents and purposes, still at the 33. 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson has come back with 2 touchdowns, one on a long drive, the other following a turnover by Kentucky to lead 14-3. Full house in the backfield. John Gay back behind the line of scrimmage, back near the 32-yard line. Hollis Hall, number 29, with fine defensive penetration as Terry Henry was in at quarterback on that series of downs for Kentucky.
You got to give credit, though, to number 53, the left end, Joe Glenn. He was able to put the pressure on the quarterback, making kick the ball out. There you see Penn State rolling along 13-0. Georgia Tech, North Carolina, they're playing a scoreless tie. And here's one. Ohio State has come back again, 13-10 against Florida State. They're playing in Columbus, Ohio.
Kentucky 5 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. It is 3rd and 2. Henry passing incomplete. intended for number 86, his wide receiver Allen Watson. And surprisingly, Henry, who is not known for his passing, was in there on 3rd down and 2, and they threw the football.
Well, they're going to pull out all stops now. They're going to try to get that ball up the field.
It is 4th and 2. The kicking team is on as Randy Jenkins, number 12, whom you see there, will do the punting. He's had a 55-yarder among his kicks today. 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the quarter. Billy Davis, number 24, around his own 25 to receive it. Again, a beautiful punt by Jenkins. Davis takes it at the 19-yard line. Covered immediately there. And falls forward to about the 24. Gordon Jackson, number 24, made the tackle. It's a 49-yard punt by Jenkins. And the punting continues to be a big part of the story here.
Kentucky defense coaches, I'm sure, have said, hey, we've got to create a turnover on Clemson. We got to get the ball down in their territory, give our offense the ball again, but create the turnover.
They mark it at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10, Clemson. Jordan faking, looking, running, and out of bounds at about the 26. Gain of about 4 yards on the play. Jeff Smith 79 and Keith Martin 70 with the pressure on Jordan. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go.
Jordan's the type of young man, though. I don't care when he comes out with that football. He makes you hold on because he can duck underneath. He can throw the ball. He can get outside. He can do it all.
Clemson from their own 26. Austin, a couple of yards to the 28 is all. Maybe the 29-yard line for a gain of 3. Keith Martin, number 70, again, making the tackle as the defense of Kentucky closed down very quickly.
All day long, Kentucky's defense has been playing well there in the middle with Brooks and McClellan and Grimsley. They shut them down on that isolation play.
From the 29-yard line, 3rd down and 2 yards to go. 5 of 13 on 3rd down conversions, and McCall, the fullback, is knocked down short of 1st down yardage as he gets across the 30. Strong defensive effort again. Chris Ferentz, number 55, a 240-pound sophomore defensive tackle, knocked him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 1. And again, the Kentucky defense gets a hand as on to punt is Dale Hatcher, who himself, like Jenkins of Kentucky, has been outstanding. He's had a 64-yarder today. His last punt was a 52-yarder. Andy Moles is back deep, and a high spiral kick that Moles will take at the 17-yard line, and nowhere to go but down. Another booming punt by Hatcher as these two teams trade ends of the field on long punts. A 52-yarder, and Moles only had white shirts waiting for him when the ball came down.
Boy, that thing had helium in it. That just went above the stadium.
Almost 7 seconds in the air on that one. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson leading Kentucky 14-3. Kentucky now with a 1st and 10 at about their own 18-yard line. Closer to the 17. Jenkins looking to throw. And it's complete to his tight end, number 80, Jim Campbell. No, it's number 20, Rick Massey. Massey with a nice catch as he came back for the ball. The sophomore out of Paris, Kentucky, was defended against by Rod McSwain. And it's so close enough that they're going to have the chains come out and measure.
That was a super catch by Massey. He knew where he was on the sideline. He knew he had to keep his feet in bounds. He had to stretch his body out as far as he could. Just a great play by Massey.
Measurement as the chains are brought all the way across to the near sideline. You have a look at it from the end zone. It is enough for a 1st down for Kentucky. A gain of 10 yards on the completion to Massey. And so Kentucky gets a little more room as they had taken over at their own 17. It's now 1st and 10. The ball just outside the 27. Again, the full house backfield for Kentucky. Jenkins dropping straight back. Under some pressure. Incomplete and overthrown. The intended receiver was the tight end Jim Campbell. The pass was too long. McSwain was defending on the play once again for Clemson. Again, we remind you this is only the first half of action you'll be seeing today here on ABC. Coming up, depending on where you live within our region, you'll see either University of Pittsburgh at South Carolina, the big one, or Missouri and Mississippi State in a battle of two undefeated teams down in Jackson. Lots and lots of regional action all over the country on this doubleheader day of NCAA football action for you. 2nd down and 10, Kentucky. Jenkins firing it again for Massey. It's incomplete, almost intercepted by Suttle. Jeff Suttle, the strong safety, almost picked that ball off before it hit the ground after it went through Massey's hands. Jeff Bryant, 99, with pressure as we look at it again.
Again, they give Jenkins a little bit more time. The ball is shown a little high, but maybe he could have had it in there anyways.
That makes it 3rd down and 10 for Kentucky. The ball still just inside their 28-yard line. John Gay comes out, and another wide receiver comes in, as now Abraham and Adams will be the 2 setbacks behind Jenkins in the backfield. 3rd and 10. Bryant again with pressure. Jenkins got it off, but it's incomplete and almost intercepted again. Andy Hedden was dropping on the play, and he almost picked it off. And then Hollis Hall almost had a chance at it.
Clemson's defense is really beginning to put the pressure on Jenkins. He is starting to throw the ball maybe a little soon, looking a little quick, and it's natural after you've been pressured that much.
Jenkins will stay in to punt. Billy Davis, 24, is dropped back again to receive as you look at Jenkins' punting statistics today. And again, he hits a pretty good one. Davis at about his 25. Trying to get to the wall on the near side. Breaks a tackle. Gets up to about the 39-yard line. Fine 2nd and 3rd effort by return man Billy Davis will give Clemson pretty good field position as they will have the football now at the 39-yard line. David Mears, the man who snapped the ball, made the tackle as we look at the kick again.
Again, anytime you have a guy, quarterback back there like Jenkins punting the ball, there's always the threat of the punt fake. But now watch Billy Davis, one of the top recruits in 1980 for Clemson, turn the ball upfield, give great second effort, hit well there, bounces off, turns upfield.
1st down, Clemson at their own 39. Chuck McSwain, tailback, gets nowhere, maybe a yard to the 40, and that's all. That was a 47-yard punt by Jenkins and a 14-yard return by Davis.
Hey! Go, kids!
Gain of 1. Keith Martin, who made the tackle for the Kentucky defense, along with Kevin McClellan.
Go, Kentucky!
And as we near the end of the 3rd quarter, with 30 seconds now remaining in the quarter, and Clemson still leading, the Tigers have a 2nd and 9 at their own 40. Jordan going long down the far sideline. No receiver was there as Perry Tuttle was the intended receiver, but the ball was well overthrown. Petty, along with Moles, were back defending. Clock stops with 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and it'll be 3rd and 9, still at the 40-yard line.
That time Jordan thought that the defense of Kentucky would take the bait. He faked the out pattern to Tuttle. Tuttle turned up the field, but they were alert. Petty was back there. He was the closest guy to the football.
And Jordan threw that ball almost 50 yards in the air. Two wide receivers now to the far side of the field on 3rd down and 9. Jordan running the option, looking for a hole. He finds nothing. Wrapped up immediately by Jeff Smith, a sophomore defensive tackle, but a penalty marker has been thrown on the play. 7 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter now. A clip is the indication against Clemson. And apparently it occurred after the play. All major penalties this year assessed as dead ball fouls so that they do not cancel each other out, or a 15-yarder is not canceled out by a 5-yarder by the other team. This will be assessed as Kentucky elects to take it and move Clemson back inside their own 30-yard line at the 28. Pete Williams again telling us clipping against Clemson. 7 seconds left in the quarter. It will now be 3rd down for Clemson, but about 22 yards to go. Stockstill goes to the near side. Perry Tuttle to the far side. And time runs out the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with the final 15 minutes of action. Clemson leading Kentucky 14-3 after this commercial message, as well as a word from our local station. 8,000 looking on. Clemson with a 3rd and 22 at their own 27 or 28-yard line as we start the 4th and final quarter. Clemson leading 14-3. Jordan gives to the tailback McSwain, who had a good hold, but it closed very quickly. Number 70, Keith Martin, one of the first Kentucky defenders there, along with Chris Ferentz, number 55.
There's a 3rd quarter stats. Again, the big thing that stands out, the turnovers, and this is the bugaboo of all football teams, and this is where it hurt Kentucky in their first 3 games. 3 turnovers.
They have to punt, of course, as Hatcher is on. A high hanging punt, not as long as the last one. Moulds calls for the fair catch, but then lets it fall to the ground as it rolls inside the 15-yard line. Pretty effective punt again, as Dale Hatcher continues to do the job, along with Jenkins, of course, for Kentucky.
That end of the field seems to get real good rolls today, Steve. Everyone that's been hit down there just rolls and rolls and rolls.
Even the short ones. That one a punt of 51 yards. In the 3rd quarter, Clemson had the football for over 11 minutes. Kentucky had the football for 3 minutes 53 seconds. A big turnaround from the previous 2 quarters. We're in the 4th quarter now. 1st and 10, Kentucky from the 13-yard line. Jenkins almost stumbled as he went back. Fires over the middle, complete to Massey, number 20. Nice reception again by Rick Massey, the sophomore out of Paris, Kentucky. Terry Kennard was there, but Terry Kennard could do nothing about it, as it's 1st and 10, Kentucky now at the 27.
Excellent protection by the offensive line of Kentucky that time.
John Gay, number 23, is in at running back now. So you again go to the full house backfield. Abraham pounding ahead across the 30. They'll mark it outside the 31-yard line. Number 94, William Devane, the nose guard, submarine down in there. Devane, a sophomore out of Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Excuse me, Steve. The big thing here is when you're down 14-3 and you're Kentucky is not to get greedy or not to get impatient. There's over 13 minutes left. You still have time to come back.
Gain of 3, 2nd down 7. Campbell back in at tight end. Jenkins to pass again. Again over the middle, and again complete to Massey, this time at the 44-yard line. And another good catch. Jeff Davis, 45, was right there, but he couldn't do anything about it. Terry Kennard also defending.
Now watch Richard Abraham. His job is pass protection. This man can run the football. He sings the national anthem. Let's see if he can block number 53. Good job, Richard.
That was Massey's 5th catch for 66 yards and the 16th first down for Kentucky. Abraham again, a big hole as he sprints into Clemson territory to the 43-yard line before he's knocked down by Hollis Hall in the secondary. The cornerback on the left side, the senior from Seneca, South Carolina, had to make the play as Kentucky opened a beautiful hole, Rick.
That time it looked like Kentucky came out on a quick count. Just a quick hitter to Abraham. A big opening in there created by Doug Williams and Don Corbin. First down, Kentucky.
At the 43-yard line of Clemson, 12 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the football game. Clemson leading 14-3. Kentucky now driving. Jenkins to throw. Under pressure, he'll be sacked inside the 45-yard line of Kentucky. A big loss on the play to the 44. 53, Joe Glenn, and 99, Jeff Bryant were all over him.
This is what Clemson can do. They can tackle the ball carriers for a loss. Just watch them keep coming there. Jeff Bryant, Oh, they put the pressure on you.
The loss, as I said, back to the 44-yard line of Clemson. It'll be second down and 23 yards to go as you look at big Jeff Bryant and that Clemson defensive line. Adams gets it up near midfield to about the 49 is all. They got back a lot of the yardage, however, before number 82 Danny Triplett and 23 Jeff Suttle, the strong safety, made the tackle on Adams. The ball just short of midfield. It'll be third down and about 16 yards to go, maybe 17.
Seems like Kentucky goes ahead and gets a couple first downs, but then Clemson puts the pressure on, throws them for a loss, and they're in a long down situation as they are now. Third and a lot of yards to go.
On third down and 17, split backs in the backfield as Jenkins drops straight back. Glenn again with the pressure on him. Over the middle and complete to Massey once again inside the 30 of Clemson. First down Kentucky as they come back on two big plays. Terry Kennard made the tackle, number 43, but again Jenkins to Massey works for Kentucky.
Jenkins again, good protection, but this young man, Rick Massey from Paris, Kentucky, he'll go right into the middle. He has great concentration on the ball. He caught the ball in the seam between the linebackers and the deep backs. First down Kentucky, and they are driving.
Gain of 23 yards on the play. The ball at the 28-yard line of Clemson. Abraham for short yardage as he dives forward near the 25. 71 Dan Benish, the junior defensive tackle at 250 pounds, knocked him down. They'll mark it at the 26. Gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. 10.5 minutes remaining in the game. Adams on the power sweep, looking for a block, doesn't get it, and Childers made a great play. Tim Childers, the strong safety, fought his way through the block and was there to trip up Adams as he stops him for a short gain of about 2 yards to the 24. It'll be third and 6.
Look to the right of your screen. Watch for number 26, Tim Childers from Gaffney, South Carolina. Watch him take on the block and come up. Even though Adams slipped, Childers made an excellent play.
Kentucky now at the 24-yard line of Clemson. Third down. 6 yards to go. And now a timeout is called. Referee Pete Williams stopping the clock and says it is his timeout.
I believe the referee is warning the bench over there.
Well, while the timeout has been called, as the head linesman went over to say something to Danny Ford, we'll take a timeout with 9:37 remaining in the game. It is third down and 6 for the Kentucky Wildcats. Here's what both teams have done as far as third down conversions are concerned. Kentucky being a tad more successful than Clemson. About 6.5 yards to go. The ball at the 24-yard line of Clemson. Kentucky trailing 14-3 here in the fourth quarter. Over the middle, it's complete to the tight end, number 80, Jim Campbell. Will it be enough for the first down, however, as it is very near yardage? Yes, it apparently will be. First down, Kentucky. 9:23 remaining in the game, and the Wildcats stay alive.
Football is a game of third downs, and this time Kentucky, with Jenkins throwing the ball, finds his fine tight end, Jim Campbell from Louisville. Watch him, drills it in there. Good catch. He had to reach back for it. First down, Kentucky.
The ball at the 17-yard line of Clemson. Jenkins to throw again. Completes it to Adams out of the backfield, and Hollis Hall, number 29, was right there to trip him up immediately. Tim Childers, 26, also there with him. The gain is 2 yards to just inside the 15-yard line. It'll be second down and about 8 yards to go.
With the clock moving, watch here. Jenkins comes out. He finds his favorite backfield receiver, George Adams. But you see Hollis Hall, who had rolled up into the flat, make the tackle.
Sean Donegan, number 40, is now in at fullback with John Gay at running back, number 23 for Kentucky. Jenkins to throw. Avoids the pressure, gets it away, but it's incomplete. It was intended for John Gay coming out of the backfield. Jeff Davis, number 45, made the hit, and Danny Triplett had pressure on Jenkins.
Well, Danny Triplett and Andy Hedden had pressure right there. Good play by the Clemson defense.
At the 15-yard line, 3rd down and 8. The Clemson Tiger has found a fan. Start him young. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. 14-3, Clemson leading Kentucky. On 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Jenkins over the middle. Intercepted by Clemson. A battle for the football going on, but it looks like Danny Triplett, number 82, wrestled the ball away from the intended receiver.
It looked like to me that time that Jenkins looked all the way to Campbell, and it had to be that Danny Triplett had his eye right on the quarterback's eyes. He reacted to the football. Now you watch for number 82, the linebacker for Clemson. Jenkins goes back. He's looking all the way over there for Campbell. Watch Triplett react. Great interception.
8:10 remaining in the game. Clemson has taken over, leading 14-3. Steve Zabriskie along with Rick Forzano for the final 8 minutes and 10 seconds of play here at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington. We look at scores of other games around the country today.
Illinois waited for us to put the score up, and they kicked the field goal.
Here we just may have seen the play of the game as Danny Triplett wrestled the ball away from Campbell, the tight end of Kentucky, repelling a Kentucky scoring threat. Clemson with a 14-3 lead, now having the football 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. Jordan running all the way, cutting back, still on his feet and out near the 18-yard line. Fine effort by Homer Jordan as he gets the ball out from the 6 and picks up a 1st down.
And I believe he's going to get 15 more tacked onto it, Steve.
It was not enough for the 1st down, as there was a penalty on the play previous to that. It was 1st down and 17 yards to go, not 1st and 10, and the personal foul will be against Kentucky. It will be marked off from the spot of the infraction about the 18-yard line, and the 15-yard assessment will give Clemson a 1st down and gets them way out from in front of their own goalposts. There's the indication from Pete Williams at the 33-yard line of Clemson. The penalty on the previous play, the interception, was assessed against Clemson, and they started with a 1st and 17. That's the 6th penalty on Kentucky for 63 yards. Boston banging straight ahead and protecting the football as he gets it to the 39. Tackled by Don Fielder, number 53, and number 4, Tom Petty. There you see the situation. Time running out for Kentucky as that last turnover may turn out to be the play of the game.
You're right, Steve. And remember, the 4th quarter has been where the Kentucky defense has been most vulnerable. They've allowed up to this game 29 points in the 4th quarter. They've got their work cut out for them here. They've got the clock against them. They've got Clemson with 2nd and 4. Kentucky's defense has to rise the occasion, and if you're Clemson, you're saying hold on to that football and no turnovers.
That interception was Triplett's 1st career interception. He's a junior, and as far as this game is concerned, it's got to be the biggest turnover. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. From the 39-yard line, Jordan swings it out to Tuttle in the open field, trying to get him one-on-one, and Baird hauls him down, but Tuttle may have enough for the 1st down. Harry Baird, the sophomore out of Franklin, and Perry Tuttle, a couple of number 22s going at it. But it is enough for a 1st down at the 44-yard line of Clemson.
That's a lot of pressure on a defensive back. Harry Baird, 22, had to react to a fine receiver like Perry Tuttle one-on-one, and Baird did a good job.
On 1st down, Jordan may be changing the play at the line. Batted in the air and incomplete. Number 37, Greg Lyons, the strong safety, a senior from right here in Lexington, was blitzing on the play and stuck up a hand, and Greg Long knocked that ball down, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
This time Jordan's just trying to run a little turnout to his wide receiver, Jeff Stockstill. And as you pointed out, Greg Long, 37, from his strong safety position, gets his hand up, knocks the ball down. Good defense, Craig Long, a homeboy here from Lexington, Kentucky.
2nd down and 10. 6.5 minutes remaining in the game. Clemson leading 14-3. Chuck McSwain trying to break through a pile-up on the far sideline. Gets it out to the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. 70, Keith Martin, 230-pound sophomore, made the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. A gain of 4 for McSwain. Clemson 5 of 16 on 3rd down conversions. Homer Jordan leads them up on 3rd and 6 from their own 49. McSwain again has the 1st down and breaks into the clear. If he could have maintained his balance, he might have scored a touchdown. He only had Tom Petty, the safety man, to beat. But he does pick up much more than the needed 1st down yardage. It looked like Kevin McClellan, number 49, tripped him up, Rick.
He certainly did. And watch McSwain now. This is what you want all backs to do. Turn it up. Just keep those legs going. Show that balance. Use your hand. That is good running by McSwain. Again, you see him. Watch him turn it up. Just keep going. He almost broke. Look at that balance with the hand. Young backs could learn from that.
1st and 10, Clemson at the Kentucky 34. McSwain again. Big yardage on 1st down as he busts it inside the 30, down near the 27-yard line before Andy Moles, the free safety, makes the tackle.
That's intelligent on Clemson's part. They've got a hot ball carrier right now in McSwain. He is turning it upfield. Let him have the football. Let him roar up there. Let him keep possession.
5 minutes remaining in the football game. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. The fullback, Mack, straight ahead on a little counter trap play where he fakes the pitch and hands back to the fullback. Not enough for the 1st down, however. As he gets it to about the 25, it'll be about a half a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Effley Brooks, number 57, the junior nose guard, made the tackle. Third. And then some, as now when they clear, they mark it at the 22-yard line. John Grimsley, 59, made the tackle.
It's amazing the turnaround of this game, Steve. The 1st half, all Kentucky. The 2nd half, Clemson has just controlled the ball totally.
Those 2 third-quarter touchdowns by Clemson, the difference as they lead 14-3. The clock continuing to run. Kevin Mack, the fullback, breaks it inside the 15. Andy Moles made the tackle in the secondary, but they'll mark it at the 13-yard line as another big Clemson gain on 1st down.
Again, now they send McSwain, number 35, to top the eye wide, which forces the defense wide, and they're smart. They give the ball right up the middle. He read the nose block to Kevin Mack. Good cut. 1st down again, Clemson.
Tigers threatening to extend their lead. The pitch to McSwain. Cutting back against the grain and inside the 5-yard line. McSwain takes it down inside the 3. Knocked down by Dave Lyons, number 94.
Again, now just watch McSwain. He gets the ball on a short pitch. He sees the hold, made a good cut right there. But watch his shoulders and watch how he's turned right to the goal line, the sign of a good back.
McSwain now has gone over 100 yards for the afternoon. 19 carries, 104 yards. 2nd down and 1, but they're on the 3-yard line. McSwain fighting for the goal line. Touchdown now is signaled by the officials. It took them a while to make up their mind, but they signal a touchdown.
There he is, McSwain, the guy that has really carried the bulk of the ball right here. Look, turns it up. Extra effort again, gets him in the end zone. He wanted that touch.
It is now 20-3 with the extra point attempt by Bob Pauling, number 6, to come. And the fourth quarter continues to be bad news for the Kentucky Wildcats. A timeout has been called by Clemson. 2 minutes 48 seconds remain in the football game. The Tigers have blown it open here in the second half. They lead 20-3. Anthony Peretti will do the holding, and Bob Pauling will attempt the extra point. As the run by Chuck McSwain from 3 yards out has made it 20-3. Pauling will attempt to add one more to that total, and he does. 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the football game. And as we were saying before the commercial, Rick, the fourth quarter, if it wasn't for the fourth quarter, Kentucky would have a much different football season going.
Well, they certainly would. And again, the turnovers have been their big bugaboo. It's put the defensive Kentucky's in a hole a lot. It's all they had a chance, Kentucky did, to put a score on the board. They throw the interception. They had another fumble before in the third quarter that ended up in a score. As a coach, there's one thing you can't do is you can't have turnovers.
We remind you that this Monday on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, it's a big battle. The NFC West champion Atlanta Falcons, led by one of the top quarterbacks in the league, Steve Bartkowski, will go up against the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, a big NFC matchup. They have a pretty fair quarterback themselves in Ron Jaworski. That's NFL Monday Night Football, Monday night at 9 Eastern and 8 Central over most of these ABC stations. Bob Pauling, number 6, whom you see there, will do the kicking off. Back deep to receive, George Adams and Tom Petty for Kentucky. And we remind you that before the end of the game, we're going to be announcing the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player for each team, in whose name a $1,000 scholarship will be awarded from Chevrolet to the school's general scholarship fund for that player's performance in this televised event here on ABC today. So we'll be announcing the most valuable players on behalf of Chevrolet for both Clemson and Kentucky before the end of the game today. Pauling hits it. A line drive shot. Petty fields it on a short hop and takes it up to about the 15, crosses the 20, and is hauled down at about the 22-yard line. Kentucky with not much time left. Many of their fans now leaving Commonwealth Stadium as they trail Clemson 21-3. The Tigers really putting it on, and this 87-yard scoring drive really has sealed it unless Kentucky can pull out a miracle. The ball at the 21-yard line of Kentucky. 1st and 10. Kentucky with all 3 of their timeouts remaining and 4 wide receivers in the game, along with quarterback Randy Jenkins. Under pressure. Gets it away for Massey, incomplete. Massey was hit immediately by number 21 Anthony Rose, a senior defensive back from Sumter, South Carolina. And again, Jeff Bryant, 99, was chasing Jenkins around. 2:34 now remaining in the game. It'll be 2nd and 10. And again, stay with us because this is only the beginning of a big day here on ABC. Of course, the college football scoreboard show coming up to keep you abreast of what's happening. And then, depending on where you live in our region, either Pitt, South Carolina, or Missouri, Mississippi State, the second half of our doubleheader. Complete to Massey this time at the 38-yard line. Massey with another fine catch. Terry Kennard, number 43, was there, but it was a well-thrown and well-caught ball. They mark it nearer the 39. 1st and 10 Kentucky. 2:23 now remaining in the game. Jenkins throws for the far sideline to Massey, incomplete. Andy Hedden, number 12, was defending on the play. The clock stopping with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. It'll be 2nd down and 10, Kentucky at their own 39. Perry Tuttle caught a pass today, Rick, and that's the 24th straight game that Clemson's fine receiver has caught at least one pass in.
But I'll say one thing in Kentucky's favor. They did do a good job of defending Tuttle in this ball game.
Yes, they did. He was not as big a factor as he might have been. On 2nd down and 10, Jenkins had his arm moving forward. We'll see where they mark it, I believe. Pete Williams, the referee, is going to mark it back there. It will not be a Clemson touchdown. as Pete Williams has ruled the ball dead at the 22-yard line of Kentucky. It will be Clemson's football, however. Jim Scott, number 67, made the big play. 2:08 remaining. Clemson has the football back, and Kentucky appears as if it's over for them for this afternoon. Clemson has the football back, and that is extremely bad news for Kentucky, as the Wildcats' offense again has failed to generate much in the way of consistency or points today, Rick. Their defense did well again up until the fourth quarter. Clemson's super defense has been all over their offense today.
Well, that's right. In Clemson, they just kept coming and they kept coming, and they know that their offense, given time, will come back, but Kentucky's offense just couldn't generate the points.
Number 11, Mike Gaskew, a senior from Elon College, North Carolina, is now in at quarterback for Clemson. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Brendan Kright, number 38, the ball carrier, in at tailback. Tackled by Greg Long, number 37, the strong safety. The gain is to about the 17-yard line. About a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5. We want to thank some of the people who've helped us today. Our statistician, John Butera, and our spotter, Bill Friel, among others. 1:40 remaining in the game. 2nd and 5, Clemson. Brendan Kright again, the ball carrier, stumbles forward. Maybe close to the 1st down, however, as he's near the 12-yard line of Kentucky. 49, Kevin McClelland, who's played an outstanding game, made the tackle to trip him up. They mark it at the 13, short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Gaskew, the quarterback, gives to number 46, Duke Holloman, who's in at the tailback position, and again Kevin McClelland of Kentucky is there to meet him. Holloman's first carry of the afternoon. He's a sophomore out of Myrtle Beach. The clock now shows 57 seconds remaining, and it is enough for a 1st down at the 11-yard line of Kentucky. And the Clemson cheerleaders and mascot celebrating.
That tiger gets around, I'll say that.
Visited with a few folks today. 44 seconds left in the game. 1st and 10. Brendan Kright bouncing off one tackler, wrapped up by number 44, Don Rowe, a junior defensive end.
Watch Kright from the tailback spot. He makes an excellent cut. He sees it all the way back on the backside, but the defense this time for Kentucky stayed at home.
17, Anthony Peretti is in at quarterback. It is 2nd down, about 5 yards to go. The ball near the 6.5-yard line. Peretti's just going to fall down behind the line of scrimmage as the clock runs now with 5 seconds remaining. And you see it count down as Clemson has come on with a strong second half. 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, one that sealed the doom in the 4th quarter to defeat Kentucky, coming from behind after Kentucky had taken a 3-0 lead. Clemson 21 and Kentucky 3. We're going to be returning here to Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky to wrap up this game. Stay with us. The big doubleheader day will continue here on ABC. Here are the Chevrolet most valuable players for today's game. Rick?
Chuck McSwain, the tailback from Clemson from Caroline, North Carolina, 20 carries, 107 yards. And for Kentucky, Rick Massey, their fine receiver, 7 catches for 107 yards. A lot of those difficult catches. 2 fine young men.
And in their names, a $1,000 scholarship to the school's General Scholarship Fund on behalf of Chevrolet. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of our doubleheader today, and we remind you that coverage of today's game was produced by Ralph Abraham, directed by Joe Assetti, our associate director, Carol Letty. This is Steve Zabriskie for Rick Forzano saying so long from Commonwealth Stadium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Be sure to stay tuned now for the next half on our Prudential College Football Scoreboard with Jim Lampley and Dave Dials bringing you up to date on all of today's games from around the nation. And then immediately following that one, the second half of our doubleheader, you'll see either Pittsburgh, South Carolina, or Missouri against Mississippi State. NCAA College Football, Clemson versus Kentucky has been brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see all the good things for 1982 at your local Chevy dealers. Chevy makes good things happen. By Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. Once again, the final score today, Clemson 21, Kentucky 3. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.